Alright, game 2 here, and looking at the board, there's a lot of green on the board. There's a lot of green. That was my first reaction, and then my second reaction was, okay, how do you build the engine? That's something I have to work on, right? Not every Dominion board is an engine, but that's how I think somehow. I mean, they're cool and all, but still, it's not always the right best thing to do. Anyway, to build the engine is Ironmonger. Remake to get thin, and you need to get thin if Ironmonger is going to get you actions to play a Haunted Woods for draw. No plus buy, but there's the attack in Haunted Woods and Pillage. Oh wait, there's Trader and Feodum. So all that engine planning goes out the window in the face of Trader and Feodum, right? You just buy traders and buy Feodum and play traders, play traders, gain silvers, buy Feodum, win game, right? So I am gonna open with the trader here because of Trader Feodum. There's no plus buy, right? And that hinders engine development. And also, the big thing engine has going for it here, well, one of the big things is the vineyards, right? You can only buy one vineyard a turn with no plus buy on the board. And there's no nice remake tricks you can do either, aside from thinning your deck, really. So, yeah, the slug type deck with Trade and Feodum seems to be the way to go here. My opponent goes for the remake and the silver here. Whereas I go for the trader and the silver, of course, going for the theater as I mentioned. So, right, going to play the trader here on this estate. I'm not going to pick up the secret chamber. It is not at all worth the deck slot for this style of deck, which is soon going to be flooded with silver. Secret chamber is a liability. I mean, it's a guaranteed Feodum if it shows up, right? But when are you not going to be able to buy a Feodum in a deck with 100 silver? There's no need, and I don't need to defend myself from any of these attacks, right? The Haunted Woods thing against Trader Feodum, it doesn't do much, especially if I'm able to get all my estates out the way. And even if I'm not able to do that, I mean, I could just play around the attack, right? I'll have hands with a lot of money. I can just put back some money more often than not against the Haunted Woods. Pillage is a bit more annoying, but I still think that's manageable. So really, yeah, Trader Feodum we know is resilient, right? Absolutely resilient. Well, not absolutely resilient, but it's very, very resilient to many attacks. I can't really think of any attack that would shut it down off the top of my head. Because it deals with all the junkers quite nicely. 7 here, I make a bit of an interesting choice. It's a bit early in the game, and I figure the Hireling would be helpful. Allow me to see my traders more often. I'm not really sure about that. Maybe this should just be a third trader. I feel like you want 3 traders if you're going after Feodum because your deck inflates quite quickly, and I felt like I wasn't gaining silver as fast as I should have been doing if I was pursuing Trader Feodum so hotly. That could have been a Feodum there, but on the reshuffle I wanted to get a silver before I start going for the Feodor. I would have bought one here, but I can't. So I'm just gonna buy a silver. So yeah, that Hireling probably should have been a trader, so I could just gain the silver more quickly. But I bought the Hireling. Hireling is a card that I have a little bit of problems with. Like I don't know when Hireling is good to buy because it costs 6. That's a lot of money, but the effect is very good. The effect is very good. So I don't know. Like if there's a board with Hireling as your only draw, do you go for it? Do you not go for it? There's a lot of money to get there. But I mean, like Hireling big money, is that a thing? Does that work? How well does that work? Like if you spend your first 6 on a Hireling over a gold and then buy golds, is that better? I don't know. And in an engine, when do you use it? Like I like to use it to defend against goons and militia, that kind of thing. That's the only like real thing I have about like knowing when to buy the Hireling. If you see there's attacks there, a Hireling or two is quite well appreciated. Anyway, I've been talking about Hireling instead of the game. My opponent has been remaking quite a few things. Um they had an Ironmonger and a Haunted Woods. I believe the Haunted Woods was remade into a gold, so I thought they were going for the Ironmonger Haunted Woods engine, but seem to be switching over now into a more money-based strategy. And in fact, they're able to pick up what this is a second province for them. Yeah, second province for them of the gold and a lot of silver they have from a remake. And they also have a Hireling down in place, so that helps quite a bit there, as well as the Ironmonger, of course. So I have started moving in on the Feodum. They're not worth a lot for me right now, maybe just 3 points, but I am gonna buy them, even though I could buy provinces because they're going to be worth probably more than a province if I'm left to my own devices with my traders and the Feodum. However, my opponent is not going to leave me to my own devices. They're going to um, try to cut me off from some of the Feodum, which is, perfectly reasonable, especially with the remake in their deck. They can gain Feodum via remake and then trash out the Feodum to gain 5 postcards like Pillage or Haunted Woods, and then they would get 3 silver from the Feodum, which in their deck is going to be an excellent buy. An excellent gain, sorry. Province here for me is loose, I believe. That should have been a Feodum. I don't want to push the game towards its end. Why would I do that when I still have 20 something silver to gain? You know? There's no reason for me to do that. Another province for my opponent there, and suddenly we're halfway through. Ooh, might be a bit dicey here. Can I get all the silvers in time? Not sure, not sure. I can't even pick up a Feodum here. So yeah, that province was a tad bit loose, but using that trade on that Feodum here push those Feodum up quite a bit. And the Feodum here are really gonna start coming through at this point, being worth what 5 or 6 points by this point. My opponent not hitting 8 is a welcome sight for me. Even though like I'm ahead, I obviously want to get provinces. I want to get as many Feodum and as many silver before the provinces finish. So here Feodum is obvious, and here I believe I do go for a Feodum, as my opponent again remakes into one here. So yeah, you see the silver going to a Feodum. That was the last Feodum, so this is going to be a province for me. So with the large amount of silver in my deck, my Feodum is going to be worth more, even though I don't have all 8. And with the large amount of silver in my deck, I could contest provinces, I could contest duchies and Silk Roads, and just develop this big VP lead and just finish the game then to true slog style, right? We're just buying victory cards every turn from here on out. Whether it be duchies, I do go for the duchy here over the Silk Road. I want the points now. Silk Road isn't worth as much yet, I don't think. I want the points now because the game is going to end very soon. There's what, 1 province left? 2 provinces left? Something so. So I do go for the duchies first here. I'm not going to pick up that second to last province. There's no need for me to do that. Just I could play it extremely safe. Very, very safe at this point. I have a big enough lead. Just keep accumulating green cards and you should be fine. And here my opponent goes for the province as they have to. And now, well, obviously now it's safe to buy the last province, right? So we're just waiting to see who gets 8. Well, I'm just waiting for me to get 8, to be honest. It'll show up eventually. These money type decks, just have to be patient. 7 is going to be more Silk Roads for my opponent. They've been going for quite a lot of those. But, yeah, they're not worth much for either of us at this point. Now I feel my Silk Roads might be worth 3, but I have province in hand here, and in fact the Hireling draws me into a silver, so I'm able to push my Feodum up by 1 more still before buying the last province. So this is how game 2 turns out. Nice little Trader Feodum slug thing. That Hireling was probably terribly out of place. You let me know, and I'll see you in game 3. Thanks for watching.